New Indiana laws for 2023.
Indianapolis, Indiana. One of the more controversial issues was the bill banning gender-affirming care for minors. Last week, a federal judge in Indiana issued an order stopping the ban on puberty blockers and hormones for transgender minors from taking effect on July 1, 2023. Below is a list of some of the bills that will become law on July 1, 2023. House Bill 1608. HB 1608 will prohibit teachers from instruction on sexuality and gender for K-3 students in schools. The law also requires teachers to notify parents if a child comes out as transgender. This law has drawn comparisons to the Florida law that was notoriously called Don't Say Gay. Senate Bill 114. SB 114 protects tenants from the risk of utility shutoffs if the owner of their property fails to pay utility bills. This comes after multiple instances of city officials needing to step in to keep utilities on at Indianapolis area apartment complexes. The law will allow the utility company to ask for a court-appointed receiver. The receiver would take over the property or properties and make sure the bills are paid. This is a win for tenants. Senate Bill 1. Senate Bill 1, also referred to as the Behavioral Health Matters Bill, establishes a statewide crisis response system to support Hoosiers going through a mental health or substance abuse crisis. This would include a helpline. House Bill 1177. House Bill 1177 offers teachers optional firearms safety training funded by the state. HB 1177 also requires schools to distribute firearms safety materials to parents regarding how to safely store firearms in order to keep them out of children's hands. Indiana doesn't mind putting guns in the hands of teachers while taking education, sex, books, cultural, etc., out of the minds of children. House Bill 1286. HB 1286 will require coroners in Indiana to test for xylazine in people who die from drug overdose. House Bill 1365. HB 1365 will outlaw switch devices that turn handguns into machine guns. Under this bill, guns modified with an auto-sear are outlawed just like other machine guns. Possessing a firearm with a switch is a level 5 felony, which carries a maximum sentence of 6 years in prison if convicted. House Bill 1186. Under this new law, police can enforce a 25-foot buffer zone around investigating officers. If a person knowingly or intentionally approaches an officer and ignores an order to stop, they can be charged with a Class C misdemeanor. I presume this law will face some litigation. Senate Bill 43. This law will ban public safety agencies from establishing a residency requirement for 911 dispatchers. In 2020, the Indiana General Assembly designated 911 operators as first responders in Indiana Code. Because of that designation, some agencies require that 911 operators live in the community in which they serve. Senate Bill 77. This law will allow throwing stars. House Bill 1021. Makes it a Level 6 felony for an employee of a court or law enforcement agency to notify the subject of a warrant with intent to interfere with the execution of the warrant. Makes it a Level 6 felony for a public employee or a person who contracts with the government to provide services to engage in any fondling or touching with a person who is subject to lawful detention or lawful supervision with the intent to arouse or satisfy the sexual desires of the employee or contractor. House Bill 1228. And this bill adds 2 new groups of people that cannot engage in consensual sex with a 17-year-old, coaches in a youth sports organization and workplace supervisors. Adds 2 words to the definition of solicit, lure and entice. House Bill 1287. Modifies direct commitment statute to allow the court to sentence a person into community corrections as an alternative to jail or prison. Small black square. Allows direct commitment for DUI resulting in serious bodily injury or death. Previously were ineligible. The following are ineligible to be directly committed to community corrections. 1. Person sentenced on a Level 1 felony. 2. Person who is non-suspendable except if person is charged with F3 and is non-suspendable due to prior juvenile adjudication. 3. A sentence for a crime that is enhanced by criminal organization under IC 355215. Senate Bill 48. Amends IC 354142 by removing the statute of limitations for sex offenses committed against a child. There is no limitation if there is discovery of DNA, the state becomes aware of a recording, or a confession. Only limitation is that the state must commence within 5 years of discovering the evidence. Senate Bill 158 increases the cooling-off period from 8 to 24 hours for a specified list of crimes, if the crime is allegedly committed against a family or household member. Elevates invasion of privacy to a level 6 felony if the person has a prior, unrelated stalking conviction. Adds various offenses to the definition of serious violent felony. Senate Bill 161 amends the definition of tracking device, and allows a trial court to prohibit the use of a tracking device in an ex parte protective order. Makes stalking a level 5 felony if it was committed or facility by use of a tracking device. Clarifies that placing a tracking device without knowledge or consent constitutes unlawful surveillance, a Class A misdemeanor, and makes the same crime a level 6 felony if the accused has certain priors or is the subject of a protective order. Creates a special enhancement for any offense in which a tracking device is used. Senate Bill 286 permits a person placed on pretrial home detention to earn accrued time and good time credit like other persons on home detention. Increases the minimum term of imprisonment for habitual offenders from 6 to 8 years for those convicted of a level 4 felony through murder. Increases the minimum term of imprisonment for habitual offenders convicted of all other felonies from 2 to 3 years. To see the full list of the bills signed into law, visit our website, marknicholsonlaw.com for the link.